I'm having trouble getting this tire to inflate. Soapy water can help this. It's a gusher! What do we got going on? Damaged rim. This looks like some impact. Maybe this rider was having too much fun. Maybe it was low air pressure. Either way, this has got to get a new rim, and that's what we're going to do. And this is a good candidate for a rim transfer. But before anything, this tire has got to go. And only if they were all that easy. A rim transfer is when we take a new rim and transfer it onto our wheel. It's not necessarily faster than a full lace, but it is simpler. However, there are a few considerations before we do this. First consideration, should we even reuse the old spokes? Our customer says this wheel has 100 miles. That's not so many. But if you had a lot more, you might be in trouble because the spoke, as it goes around, every single revolution relaxes a little bit at the bottom and then tightens up, and that's a stress cycle. You only get so many of these stress cycles in the life of a spoke. So several thousand miles, we'd be worried. 100 miles, I think these spokes are going to be just fine. That's the first consideration. Next consideration, is our original spoke length good for the rim we have? Here, we're doing okay. Ideally, we're trying to fill the nipple with the spoke. If it's sticking out the end, that's not so good. If you're barely catching threads, that's not so good. But here, we look good, and that's nice because we actually found the correct rim. This is the identical rim to what we have. We know that's going to work. Do you always have to have that? Sometimes you can't find it. If you could find a rim, this is a 26-inch rim, this is 26-inch. This isn't going to work. This has a different effective rim diameter. That's the diameter where the spoke length goes. It's different than this one. If you can match it with a different brand, you're probably going to be okay. So those considerations look good. On to getting with it. To be cautious, the first thing I would like us to do, pull the rotor. If you have a cassette, pull the cassette. If something goes sideways, you're going to want those out of the way. So everything's out of the way. Next, to be cautious, let's slacken all the spokes. Start the valve. Not taking it out, I'm just going to back off the tension, give it a few turns, loosen, and then the next one, loosen, loosen, all the way around. And now all the spokes are relaxed. They're loose. Next, we're ready to lay on the new rim. So, we find the valve right here. I find the valve right here. And I drop this on. And that actually looks really good. The artwork is matching. Good. The valve hole matches. The artwork matches. That's nice. If I did this, oh, well, the artwork doesn't match so well. But this rim is drilled to center. Technically, it doesn't matter. Not always the case. This rim is with offset. You can see here, we're not drilled to center. This one does matter. Match the artwork or match the offset, but inspect before you go on. Now, we're going to go back to our good orientation, which I already had. And we're going to tape these two together. We're going to bond these two, get some strips of whatever tape you have. Up here in the photo studio, of course, we use gaff tape. There we are. So now, back to the valve. It should be pretty clear. This spoke up. Next spoke up. Next, next, next. Match the holes with the rim above. But again, to be cautious, we're going to do just one side at a time. For me, the rotor side is going to be moved first, and the non-rotor comes up, then it's going to be looking good. So here's my rotor, I'm going to start with this one. All the way off. We can see carefully here, this hole has been drilled to this side a little bit, which is why it gets this one. There we are. Engage a few threads. That'll hold. Now the next one. Good. Now, that other half, it depends on the wheels you have. These rims are quite wide. Notice the slight flex in here. It has to come up quite a bit of difference. Not a big deal. This slight flex, not a problem. We're going to move these others up. It's quite a ways up. But notice all the flexiness here. We're counting on that to save us, so you'll see what I mean. So now, the non-rotor, take this one off. We're going to move it straight up. Straight up. Doesn't seem like it reaches. It's going to seem short. But here I can just flex down a little bit because everything is so loose and then it engages. I'm just going to give it 1 and a 2 and a 3, and that is enough. 3 is enough for anybody there. Next. We've got 31 spokes all going, got 32 on the wheel, so I better do this last one. 1 more to go. It comes out. Move it on up. Only one choice here. Great. Engage. A 1 turn, a 2 turn, a 3 turn, good enough. Don't forget the valve, that's going to get moved, it's going to get transferred. Now, let's do an unveiling here. We are going to cut it free. Good. Out. No longer locked down with the TSTA and our old rim. It's off. Hopefully we've learned a lesson. We're going to check our tire pressure. We're going to look out for rocks in the trail. There we are. Beautiful. Everything transferred over. Time to get this in a truing stand. And there we are. Even up the thread engagement. Check out the video, how to true a wheel, on how to pull it tight, check the dish centering around, all of that. And it's ready to go. Thanks for joining us. Be a transfer student on your next rim bash. Out.